If there's a bunch of Hydralisks running, I pick up 5, and there are 5 dead Hydralisks. Not even a problem. So Zergling's actually coming across the map right now, and I did put a proxy pile in here just in case something like this would happen, but I think my ally is going to be able to deal with it. He's going to be moving back his roaches. Sorry about my cold, everyone. I wanted to get a game out before... I'm actually leaving for Thanksgiving break, so I wanted to get a game out before then so I wouldn't have too big of a lag between games. So I decided to go ahead and cast anyway. So yeah, I've actually been wanting to cast this matchup, this build for a while, and I think this is a good game for it. So yeah, now I'm coming in here. I realize he's got a couple of missile turrets, but again, with that Graviton Beam upgrade, it's not really that big of an issue against heavy anti-air like that. And another thing I should have been doing a little bit better is I should have been upgrading weapons level earlier. So now I'm taking out this expansion. Missile turrets do not stand a chance against this many carriers. And when you bring in a bunch of units, note that I had don't send in your weakest unit first. Make sure you're sending something with the most life. So I actually sent this guy back a little bit and had these carriers go in just in case they get hit with a couple missile turrets, just for good measure. So pay attention to that when you are entering into a battle, especially with vulnerable units like this. Something I like to do, which I don't think I did this game, but if you have enough gas, if I take something like the high yield here, but my opponent did this, so this time around, but if you have enough gas and you're pumping carriers, you will have enough left over to make a mothership. So mothership is a great addition to a carrier fleet because they're both slow. Vortex is absolutely amazing if things are getting out of hand. And I've actually had people just leave the game once I've used Vortex on them, so it's actually pretty good. So a couple of Vikings here, I might be able to catch these a little bit, but not quite. They are moving back right now. They do not want to attack me, and I have fortified this position because I realized that they knew I'd be expanding out here, so I did fortify this a little bit, and I'm not really that worried about this army right here because he only has a couple of Hydralisks. My biggest threat are these Vikings right now, but like I said, with that Graviton, or with that carrier upgrade, Vikings really do not stand a chance against that many carriers. So I'm actually going to be able to move out right here. I'm telling my ally to move in right now, and I'm going to be moving in my Phoenix in just a little bit. Once I decide to move my army out, I'm going to be swooping in these Phoenixes here and lifting off these siege tanks so my ground force will not get completely obliterated. That's what I'm talking about right here. There are now no siege tanks on the ground. My stalkers are doing a good job here defending against here. My carriers are just being beastly and really taking out this army, and I'm having my ally pinch them from this side. Again, using those Phoenixes to lift off those siege tanks. Those Hydras, what do they decide to do? Are they going to be trying to kill the carriers or the Phoenixes? Either way, I'm just wailing on their entire army. So that's why I absolutely love to use this strategy on this map. So the entire time, I'm just producing more and more carriers. You see, I have 7 hotkeyed right here for my Stargates, and I just keep pumping them out. Upgrades are important because this entire time I do go gateway units. Like I said, if I did expand over here, I may have gone actually Zealots with charge and air, because air is actually a very gas heavy build. So I did research charge just in case that's what I needed to go. I'm making a couple Zealots right now, but the game is coming to a close, so just note that there are a lot of variabilities with the strategy, but really the bulk of it is, if you want to try this out, is to get those Phoenixes out fast, go 3-gate, rush warp gates, get a sentry early for multiple force fields, and then start going carriers pretty early too. By mid-game, you want to have that fleet beacon up, and if they push out a second time, or if they have a really big time push, you're going to want to have at least one carrier out by then. Phoenixes and carriers against siege tanks, the Terran player should be crying right now against what I got. And here I go, a couple of sentry fields back here, so they're not going to really be able to attack my siege tanks at all. If they want to attack my interceptors, fine, not let them do that. You can just build some more. But using those sentries well with this build is also very, very good. To be able to control ground well is absolutely crucial sometimes against this build, because if there are a lot of stalkers and they start blinking around, your carriers can be in big trouble. So having a couple of Phoenixes or having a mothership there to maybe vortex a huge pack of stalkers, try to arrange your army in a more favorable position and then deal with having anti-air later. It's good to have additional units like sentries or motherships to kind of help your carriers out. And you notice the whole time I was going ground, I did have 4 gateways up. I was probably making a bunch more once my if my expansions would have started to get saturated, then I would have been doing that. So yeah, a couple things that I think I could have done better on this game was I should have been getting these upgrades a little bit earlier. I don't think I needed a mothership on this game, but that would have been good to see. I may have been starting to build one here. Yeah, actually, my mothership was in construction, so um, I was getting out, but this game just wasn't long enough for that. And above all, I mean, this is just a fun strategy. It's awesome to just be able to run around with phoenixes and start lifting up probes and one-shotting them. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? So it's a fun strategy. You get to mass carriers, and it actually works. So anyone who's a StarCraft 1 fan and loved playing 2v2 and just doing no rush 20 minutes and massing carriers, I mean, this is the closest thing to that you're going to be able to do. This map is very favorable towards it. I've used the strategy on a couple of different maps, but this is really the one that works out best. I've tried it a bunch of times, and this is the one I'd recommend it on. So whenever I get Twilight Fortress, I always get very excited because I get to do this strategy, and I don't think I've actually lost with this. Even with just random opponents, I don't think I've actually lost this strategy. I've had some extremely close games where it really just came down to my carriers just being able to wipe out every single ground unit. Like there'd be maybe 10 Marauders left, and my carriers would just be able to pick off everything with a couple of probes, and I'd be warping in like a Zealot here or there. Like my Cybernetics core is destroyed, but I still have the carry production, so. Huge thing on this map. All right, guys, I hope that was informative. Let me know what you think about this game. Do you want to see some more first-person casts, or do you want to see some more pro matches? Either way, I'll be putting both of them up. Just which one do you want to see more of? Let me know, and let me know what you think about this game. Rate, comment, and subscribe, people. Have a very happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you after the break.